blackout. It was a blackout. It is thundering and lightning and all types of stuff going on outside. So let me call back my guests. Yeah, we just had a little blackout over here. Hi, I'm so sorry. But
yeah, that's
yeah, man, it was a blackout. Like I said, it's raining and thundering outside, and I guess it knocked something out for 2 seconds. So let's get back into this interview. Yeah. So as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying because now that just threw me off. But
yeah,
you singing. Like I said, what were you doing if you wasn't going to be an artist? Like you said that, you know, this is not where you were going. So where were you heading?
I mean, when I was in Jamaica, I was learning trade. I was learning to do body works on cars. And,
oh, wow.
And then I got the opportunity to come to England. So, you know, if I didn't get the chance to come to England, I would probably doing body works on car, or maybe I would be a bike mechanic, cause that's what my dad does.
Okay.
And I kind of did know the trade to a certain extent.
Okay. Okay. So are you completely done with that, or you could fix a couple of cars? You could fix 1 and 2 things on a car.
I'm kind of completely done with it, to be honest. Because England kind of switch up everything. I've done like multiple jobs and music now, so you know most of those things is kind of out the window right now.
Okay.
Music.
Just music. So what year was it? Because when I went to look for some of your songs, I saw that they have some up from 2018. So what year was it that you actually said, you know what, music is what I'm going to do, and that's what you've been doing since?
So from 2016,
okay,
I started working with a manager.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the music kind of got serious, because I did a song with Caesar called Brain Power, and I went on tour in 2017 with some other artists in California.
Did you not hear me playing the song? You ain't hear the song? You ain't hear Brain Power?
Ease up your people.
I didn't even hear it.
I have the song.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, like, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so I went on tour with Caesar in 2017.
Nice.
Yeah. And after that, to be honest, I took a 2-year break from music because of my children and all that.
Okay.
And then the pandemic came and you know, kind of extended 2 years to 3 years.
Yeah.
So from that, from when the pandemic kind of eases up, I started about the music and I switched from reggae to dancehall, and I'm getting beer love since I've been doing dancehall, like a lot more what I was getting doing reggae.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that happens?
I think that's just the way the youngsters going at the minute with the music.
Okay.
You know, the radar DJs, the DJs in a party, they're just playing dancehall. So that's what the youngsters consuming, and the trend is just going on and on. So, you know, I guess reggae is kind of, people still receiving reggae well, but in certain countries and like the hard reggae fans, they're still, you know, loving reggae, they're still playing reggae. But at the minute, you can tell that dancehall is doing it.
Do you think that has, you know, because it always goes back to like the Grammy Awards and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that has an effect on those type of awards? Because, you know, the last set of folks that won it were the white guys. And everybody had a big issue with that. And that you're saying that, you know, people are just going to the dance hall part of it. And it's like they're putting the reggae music on a little back burner because it's not doing what it was before.
Yes, it definitely has an effect on the Grammys and so forth. Because if you when you look into it, like certain dancehall songs, I don't think it would be nominated for a Grammy if we should be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Only certain dancehall songs like what Shaggy would do, like what Beanie Man would do, like
Sean
what
Paul.
Sean Paul would do,
Right.
and have five so nominated. If you check the dancehall songs that got nominated, there are some steady, clean dancehall. They're like old school dancehall.
So Range just said in the live that worldwide reggae outsells dancehall. Do you believe that or no?
I do believe that reggae does outsell dancehall, but it's just that on social media, dancehall is getting more play.
Yeah, because social media is like one of the major platforms right now, especially for the younger artists such as yourself and the rest of them that are coming up. This is a time where you guys have the luxury of not even having to leave your house. You do a song, you post it, you know what I mean? And it gets views, it gets streams, people do TikTok videos, and all those types of things. Do you find that it's easier now to push your music than if you had not gotten the break a couple of years ago?
It's definitely easier now. It's like, as I say, you can stay in your house and put music out there. You don't have to go anywhere. The internet is there. So that's how people consuming music nowadays. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely easier.
Definitely. Now, when I was looking for your music, I found this song called Ghetto Youths.
Ghetto Youths?
Yeah. Is that you?
Oh yeah, that's from my old album, Unartificial.
Okay, so a lot of times, and now a lot of the artists are getting into the things that's happening in the ghetto, for the youths that are in the ghetto. Was that your driving force behind this particular song?
Yes, definitely. Like what same thing that the youths are going through in the ghetto, and also me as a musician, doing music and facing struggles, trying to get my music out there to radio DJs and all that. So if you listen to the lyrics, the chorus is saying ghetto youths gonna kick down the doors for sure. So that's lyrics is related to me and other artists that are trying hard to get their music out there, and everyone that's going through similar struggles in their own playing field, to be honest.
Yeah. It's really funny that you said that in the song, ghetto youths are gonna kick down the door, because that's what's happening, right?
So it's kind of like, speak it into existence.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's happening now.
Exactly. So here is Ghetto Youths. I like this song.
Mia, we now set the film with them again when my die. Father God, and you will pray to each and every day. Show them we're proud and we stand out. Don't even set it for no hands out. Don't even put your hand out. Keep your feet and strong, bro. We overcome a lot here. Government don't really cheat us well out here. Yeah. We got to keep on fighting. We're stronger when we are united. Kick down the doors for sure and break those barriers. Come on, a real survivor. Man, a real warriors. Get a youth and a kick down the doors for sure and break those barriers.
It is so crazy to listen to this, like I said, and to see what's happening now in reggae and dancehall music. And the fact like you have like Skeng and Skitty Bang and all of these guys, Joshi, Ritical, Eruption, yourself, everybody that's coming from, the ghetto and basically trying to make this music, trying to get people to listen to the stuff that you have to say and relating to the younger youths. Now they're addressing the whole drugs and Molly and all these types of things. Like, do you feel as though they're just trying to throw a wrench into the younger artists who are coming out now?
Um, I don't really, I don't really think so. You know, I don't think. By the way, there's nothing that can stop what's happening now with the younger
Talk
artists. You know,
truth.
kicking down the doors
Yes.
and you know, getting themselves out there, like making a change for themselves. Because as we said earlier, the internet is there, and there's no more gatekeepers in the music
Yes.
industry.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
no one can stop what's going on now. This change is gonna continue, and it's only gonna get better.
Yeah. You just mentioned about the gatekeepers aspect of the music. Dig a little deeper into that. Like, what does that mean for people who don't know when it comes to the gatekeepers of the music, and how they would like at least try to stop your shine or something in that essence?
Well, the gatekeepers are the ones who like, so you have the producers, you have the radio DJs, you know, you have the media, you name it, everyone that involves in music. So if a youth like me would try to like go to a studio or try to get my song play on the radio, you have people who won't listen to me, or you know, they would only help people who is in their circle, or somebody who knows somebody they know.
Definitely.
So you know, you don't have that no more because you have the internet. You don't have to go to anyone. You don't have to ask a friend if they know this guy who can, you know, get their music play on the radio or get it play in a party or so forth. You know, you can just put it on the internet and people will hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, what are some tactics that you use for yourself when it comes to the internet? You don't have to give out all of them, but just like one or two. Like, how did you say to yourself, you know what, let me use this internet for what it is?
Yeah, well, at the minute, utilizing Instagram, you know, doing like, you know, daily posts and doing some videos to entertain the fans, having the music in the background.
I like it.
You know, there's so many things that I could touch on, basically. But it's all about, you know, doing those short 30-second videos for TikTok, Instagram. Even you have YouTube shorts now, and then you have Facebook, you have the Reels. There's so many ways that this platform created for musicians and other creatives that you can just utilize and be creative and get your music or whatever you're doing out there.
Definitely. You know, I always tell artists, like everybody that I speak to, and I've been doing this for a while, and I say to them, like, utilize social media. Like, you don't have to just post music, like you said, skits and all of that kind of stuff. People like those things. People want to see that you're real, right? They want to touch you without physically touching you, but they want to know that you're a real person behind the music.
Exactly. Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned about some struggles. Like, what are some struggles that you've running into, and how are you working on getting out of those when it comes to this music?
In the past, I would say the same stuff that I touched on earlier, which is getting my music to radio DJs, you know, DJ plays in a party, you know, getting on certain shows to like, you know, reach out to the fans and, you know, like get to certain studio.
Okay.
But we don't have that problem anymore.
Okay.
You know, so I don't think there's any barriers in the way in this day and age.
I like it.
Everything is like from a touch of a button.
Yeah.
Your music can get out there to the fans. So there's no excuse and complaint. You can do.
Yeah. Say that again. Say that part again.
No, I'm saying there's no complaint anymore. There's no barriers. There's nothing stopping any youths out there that want to do music. It's like a touch of a button. So, you know, there's no excuse really.
And it also depends on you, right? Your drive, what it is you want from this, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you're serious about music and music is a passion, if you have a love for it, then you will make it once you have the talent.
Definitely, definitely. Now, how did you start working with MIA Production? Like, how did that relationship foster?
So the manager I had in 2016, he's the one who contacted MIA Production.
Okay.
That's Queenie,
yeah.
the person that I don't know how he came up with her contact, but from then I know about her and her PR company, so I researched on Facebook and find her contact and message her.
Nice.
And yeah, because I remember she was pushing my music out there, so when I started doing music on my own, I said, let me get in touch with her and see if we could do some work. And, you know, she been great. So big up to Queenie.
Yeah, definitely big up to Queenie. I like how proactive you are about your passion. Like, I really admire that because, you know, like I said, I talk to a lot of people all the time, and a lot of people just expect, like, radio people and all of that kind of stuff to push them. But it seems like you're one of those people who are like, I'm going to push myself and somebody's going to hear me.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for acknowledging that as well, because from I've been doing music, I've been pushing myself, I've been investing in myself because I believe in my talent and the love that I have for music. Yeah. I didn't born with the talent, as some people would say, but I worked my way up to perfecting my craft, and now it's paying off. The hard work, the hours that I put in for days, months, years, it's finally paying off. So, you know, I'm grateful.
Definitely. I love that. I love people who are proactive about their stuff, because this is your passion. It's not mine. It's yours. So it's not nobody else's job but you to make sure that, you know, your stuff gets out here, that people see you on a daily basis and that type of thing. So I like that.
Definitely. And you know what? If people see you pushing, working hard, doing what you're supposed to doing, they will come and help you.
Definitely.
You know, they want to work with you because they see that you're hard working and you didn't sit around and wait for someone to do it for you. You do it for yourself. You do as much as you can, as best as you can. They'll invest in you.
Definitely. Now, this song that I'm going to play, More Girls.
Yeah.
Tell me about More Girls. Please tell me about More Girls.
Alright, so More Girls is the first song I did when I decided to switch from reggae to dancehall.
Okay.
You know, so I was just in the studio with my producer, Caliber, and while he was building the rhythm, I just, you know, came up with the melody, because that's what the rhythm was saying. So I didn't pre-plan it or anything. It just happens like that. It came to me, and the rest history. Everyone loves it. Everyone's saying, this is a song that's gonna get you out there. And from I did that song, more and more songs been coming, and trust me, I got some nice songs sitting on.
Nice. So here on Get With The Fix, here is More Girls for the first time.
Yo, it's there now, yo. As I for the girl there, yo. When you're looking at my mind, only girls me can find. I show me love them design. Yeah, it's from long time. I'm in need of girls. I'm more girls. England and America. Yo.
Get With The Fix, Michelleg. G.
As I for the girl.
This is Zyanigh, More Girls.
When you're looking at my mind, only girls me can find. I show me love them design. Yeah, it's from long time. I'm in need of girls. I'm more girls. England and American girls. more girls. Girls on top of more girls. We talk about girls. Girls are my nation. Love them from birth to God's creation. Stay close to me, no separation. You know I'm a girl, the way you are wait on. Girls say enough, me just need to choose one. And if me lose, I get me.
What are you doing with all these girls is what I want to know.
I'm just keeping them there until I'm ready. Girls to cook, girls to clean, you know.
Okay. So why one girl can't do all of that? Why do you need a girl for each of those things?
You know, like King Solomon days, you know.
Listen. Did you take me back to King Solomon?
Say it again?
I said you took me back to King Solomon days?
Yeah. 10 wives and all them things. Girls and more girls.
Listen, you know they say women are sometimes bring men down, right? So be careful of all these girls.
And sometimes the women you know, bring men up as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but the thing about it is that if you have, you know, women tend to pray, right? So if you have 5 or 6 girls and each one of them is saying a different prayer, how do you find peace? How do you find peace in that?
Well,
you gotta clear your throat.
I'm hoping that all of them is praying the same thing. They're praying that I'll stay with them. And they're praying that I'll be successful so that I can look after them and everyone will live happy forever.
I like that answer. That's a good political. That's a good political answer. Now, do you write your own music, and how do you get in a frame of mind to do that?
Yeah, I write all my music. For me, when I hear a beat, I just kind of brainstorm, use my thoughts, my imagination, and you know, and I basically wrote down whatever the beat is saying to me, whatever comes to my heart.
Okay. Alright, so what sets you apart from another artist? Like, what's the difference between yourself and another artist?
Well, basically, it boils back down to me being true to myself. I'm always true to myself, and my voice is distinctive, and you know, I'm always trying to write songs that will connect with people. So even though I give you more girls, and I'm not gonna say the other song until you
play it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I write songs like those, you know, party fun songs is still a part of me, but I also have positive songs which is more part of me, and that's what set me apart, that I always stay true to myself. You know, positive messages, and you know,
I like it.
I never try to like copy another artist and a trend. You know, I try to set my own trend, but even though I'm doing dancehall and party music, girl songs, and other artists are doing the same thing, mine, you can tell the difference between my song and other people's song.
Okay. How do you think somebody would know the difference?
You know, just listen to the words and the patterns, and you know. You have alright, say for instance, sometimes you hear a dancing song, and 5 other artists want to come up with a dancing song. I don't follow those trends, you know. I follow my own heart, and I listen to the beat, and I try to create something that I can relate to, basically. So when I sing more girls, I have more girls in my heart. That's what I'm thinking, you know?
Okay.
More and more girls.
More and more girls, right? The more the merrier. What is some advice that you would give to someone wanting to be in this music industry? Like, what are some things that you would tell them?
You know, work hard, be yourself. Never give up the fight. Just keep pushing. It's there for the taking as long as you believe in yourself. You know, just keep going.
Okay.
You know, you believing in yourself is the most important thing. Is the most important tool.
Definitely. Now, this song, I want you to premiere Rich Lifestyle for me. Premiere Rich Lifestyle for me.
This song, Rich Lifestyle, is for all the rich guys. Whether you're rich with material things or rich with good health. You know, so Rich Lifestyle. Zyanigh.
Get with the fix, Michelleg G. This is Rich Lifestyle. Are you tapping into rapping or anything like that? Because the beat sounds hip hop-ish. Are you tapping into that?
Not really. You know, I got this beat. I got it from a guy from Zambia.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so he's a producer that's been sending me beats for a while now, and most of the songs that I have coming out, including Rich Lifestyle, he produced them, and so he basically sent me the beat and I listened to it, and you know the hook came to me, Rich Lifestyle, and the rest is up.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what else should we be expecting from you? Like, what else are you working on right now?
Well, I got some songs in store. I got like another 5 party up tempo songs.
Okay.
I got another song like Rich Lifestyle. It's not the same, but it's in the same lane. And I got another girl song.
Okay.
And I got a project that I'm going to like an EP I'm gonna release at end of year, which is more intimate to Zyanigh. So it's like what I was saying earlier, the positive side of Zyanigh. So it's not reggae, so it's kind of dancer like Nation Boss, Chronic Love kind of music. You know, Massacre.
Okay. Nice. Are you gonna be doing any collabs with anybody? Is that something we should be looking out for, or that's something you're working on?
Definitely, I'm planning on doing maybe 2 to 3 collabs for the new project that I'm gonna be putting out. But I have names in mind, but I don't want to say anything until everything material.
Okay. You can tell me in my inbox. You know, I won't tell anybody.
Definitely. I know it.
Now, you mentioned Nation Boss, right? And I know that in this music industry, a lot of times, a lot of artists are struggling with not only getting their music out there, but feeling like I should be further than where I am, and those things. Like, what are you doing to maintain your mental health while doing this music?
For me, and I would say this to anyone, patience is key. As long as you're working, you're doing something, then, just be humble and keep working, because, when it's your time, it's your time. Just keep on working, stay patient and be humble.
Definitely, I like it. Zyanigh, please, you see, I got your name right. I got it right. Please give everybody all of your social media handles, where they can find your music, and everywhere that you are right now.
Well, you can type in Zyanigh, that's Zyanigh, and Zyanigh1 on Instagram, Zyanigh1 on TikTok. Once you type in Zyanigh, Zyanigh, it's only one Zyanigh, so you'll find me on all platforms.
Definitely. Now, I also want you to know, right? Every time when I download music, like I have an app that I use, and I don't know if you know about FRP.
It's the first I'm hearing of that one.
Okay, so FRP have about, I think, 3 of your songs. That's where I got 3 of your songs from. And that's a distribution center that I pay for to get music. So you need to have somebody look into that to see who put your music out there and what type of money you maybe not have that you should be having.
Okay, definitely. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I'll text it again to you so that you can look into it and see who actually put your music there, and then you can, collect some residuals. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. And with this music thing, you cannot escape people, putting your music on their platforms.
Definitely.
And, trying to sell it, trying to benefit off your advert.
Yeah.
But when you don't know, you don't know. But, you just keep working, and hopefully people won't just rob you from what belongs to you, basically.
Yeah. Are you working on looking into the legal side of the music, or that's something that you know already when it comes to copywriting and those things?
Well, I know it to an extent, but you can never learn too much. You always have to keep educating yourself, especially in the music industry. Definitely. And all my music is copywritten, and even my songs they have copyright ID. So
nice.
Someone go and upload my music to YouTube, they will not benefit anything from it, because it will be detected.
Nice. I love it. I absolutely love that. That you're new, fresh in the game, and you already have that part down pat. There's a lot of artists who's been in this game for a minute and have no idea of how to do that. So that's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah, thank you. I just do my research, and basically you have to protect your music. I just spend years doing music,
Definitely.
So why not protect it as much as you can?
Definitely. Zyanigh, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's like 2 o'clock or something like that in London, or almost 3 a.m. in London. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule and doing this interview. Any music you have, you could send it, Queenie, send it to the email, however you want to send it, and we'll definitely play it here on Get With The Fix, okay?
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for having me, and blessings to yourself, and blessings to Queenie MIA production. Appreciate the strength, one love.
And more interviews to come. To come.
And blessings to all the fans out there.
Definitely.
And please go and support Zyanigh, stream my music, follow me on all social media platforms at Zyanigh, Zyanigh, Zyanigh1.
Definitely. Have an amazing morning, okay? It's morning now. All right.
Thank you.
Get with the fix, Michelle G. In the beginning of the interview, we had a little blackout session. Yeah, it's really pouring outside.
Could never imitate. When you see me, I'm in a different lane. Don't come near, could never be tame. All these people wanna penetrate. Looking at me like I'm in a space. Walk with a sword, could never be great. Richer than you, richer than Bill Gates. Rich lifestyle, you know my lifestyle. Rich lifestyle, you know my lifestyle. Rich lifestyle, you know my lifestyle. Rich lifestyle, you know my lifestyle.
Yeah, with the fix, Michelle G. I wasn't here last week because I was basically trying to collect my thoughts, gather my thoughts, and all of that. To talk about a few things that's been happening around the world. But you know, here on Get with the Fix, we do, when we have an opportunity, we do play brand new music. Around here, because I can, you know, just because I can.
Girl, turn it evil, and I'm here with the big butt, sing on my beat.
I'm gonna start this over.
Girl, turn it evil,
Let me come up with the seats.
sing on my beat. Girl, turn it evil, and I'm here with the big butt, sing on my beat.
Get with the fix, Michelle G.
Them know how to be a strength, we don't can the roof, them a make shot, we out of range and we pull it, do it, hey. Turn it up now, turn it up. Hey girl, turn it evil, and I'm here with the big.
This is brand new Tanya Stevens, Malika,
Them know how to be a strength,
and Bulliard. Get with the fix, Michelle G. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
turn it up now, turn it up.
I took this energy. When you run when you address this queen now. I'm in prosperity. Happiness is ours for free now.
When I woke up this morning and to the birds and my singing a choir. Me like a flip it if the morning up the go I forget the praise, collect the praise and still I get up in fire. The little girl within me, if we inspire. Come straight out of the guts about me never freak out. Forget the word, the little boat, I know me never get bound. And true me no can time, me no wait for mankind to move. So my view will have this with me brown. Tell them to try every kind of distraction to seek satisfaction by limiting natural options. But I will never comply. Nah, let go of freedom. So fall back on the guy. I said never mind for the production line. Compatible in my queendom. There's only
Ladies, we are comfortable in our queendom. Let me go.
I took this energy. When you run when you address this queen now.
Tell them, Malika.
I'm in prosperity.
That's it.
Happiness is ours for free
Nothing else.
now. Yes, I've been affirming and manifesting. I know that I'm worthy, divine and royal right. I am deserving, I am a shining light. Know that I am, don't test my eyes. What you figure feel mystical from magic and voodoo. Learn my history, I know my phone like we used to. Any form of talent, she said I'm jumping my flag, step into shadow, so I'm on the trending balance line. I use energy. When you find me, when you address this queen now. I'm in prosperity. Happiness is ours for free now.
Tell him again.
I took this energy. When you find me, when
wake, you know, sometimes you wake up and not every day you feel like you're a beautiful queen. You know? Not every day everybody wakes up or you feel like you're a handsome king. You know what I mean? These songs are the enlightening songs that we need to wake up and feel good about ourselves, to know that prosperity and happiness is a thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's 2022. Let's start taking care of ourselves. Okay? Like I said, it is brand new music Wednesday today. And this is a brand new song. You know, in my email, I get a lot of songs from a lot of artists, from a lot of producers, from a lot of PR people, and all of those great things. So this is brand new. This is Prior featuring Spice. They took it back. They took it back. They took it back.
On my way, call me Mongo, cause I'm like a gorilla in the Congo. I wanna kill a little queen like Cilantro.
Yo, with the fix, Michelleg.
Zyanigh, real wild cowboy and I'm Tonto. Look how my girl skin brown like Fronto. My gun black like Shabba Ed Ancho. I could air out the block like Pronto. Bust electric shot, keep bumping. This a knife from fuck and dumpling. When I kill some boy, keep jumping. Calico.
Y'all hear what he did there, right?
God is my father and the brother, my uncle, don't understand.
This Spicer said she got 10 pounds in her G-string, Jaja.
I'm just squeezing the Uzi. All black Benz, bulletproof Gucci. I'm just down sipping, don't lose me. Bonds up a bar like King Coke soda. I'm moving the force, young Yoda. First young rapper.
Yeah, with the fix, Michelleg, like I said, it's brand new music Wednesday. Brand new music Wednesday. So I'm just going to drop a few songs tonight. I am. This is Black Orchid. I'll go. I wonder if that type of love still exists.
And I'm in love with you. And I ain't going nowhere cause I'm alright for you. I will do anything. I will do anything.
Like I said, around here, it is brand new music Wednesday. This is Louis Culture and Sakaj. One more day. Yellow to fix, Michelleg.
One more day on the hustle, one less day on the struggle. I can make it out by one means or another. Got to get the guapa, I can make the la 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 la. One more day on the hustle, one less day on the struggle. I can make it out by one means or another. Got to get the guapa, I can make the la la. Working out all week, there's no I don't sleep.
So by time I'm 45, I'll have 95 people working 9 to 5 for me. And I know it's stressful and it's hard, so I can just imagine the reward. So when the pressure starts to swell and I get overwhelmed, I just have to tell myself, one more day I know, one less day I just struggle. Want to make it out by one means or another. Got to get the proper, want to get the la 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 la. One more day I know, one less day I just struggle. Want to make it out by one means or another. Got to get the proper, want to get the la la la.
Somebody say, who road, do road, and every dollar counts. I'm working, I'm stacking, no matter the amount. Some not stick up in a pocket, some in a bank account. So now you know, say that they get to use them conquer down. Whole heap of papers, whole heap of acres. Dollars me send no work out of the play a haters. We keep counting, stop up a mountain. Money around to me like up a bad mountain.
One more day I know, one less day that is struggle. I'm to make it out by one.
Oh my goodness. Get with the face, Michelleg. So, like I said, last week I wasn't here. Just because I wanted to get my thoughts together about these school shootings and stuff that has been going on. And last week I reached out to a couple of school officials to address this matter. Not really address it, but to provide, let's say, some safety for kids in the aspect of talking about, are we talking to our kids about active shooters? Are they doing any drills at the schools? Do the schools have metal detectors for the kids? Are the doors locked? Both front, back, side, how many ever doors a school may have, are those things closed? While they agreed last week, this week everybody turned me down. Folks are basically saying that there's some investigations going on at their schools. They can't participate in the interview, and some just backed out. So that's really a shame to me, because my conversation wasn't even going to be around what's actually happening now at these Newark schools or whatever the case may be. The conversation was going to be around safety for our kids, for these kids, these teachers, the staff, everybody at these schools. And it's unfortunate that people don't really want to have those conversations. They're more worried about, somebody's going to hear me and somebody's going to go say I said and all of these things. Look, I think people forget a lot of times that I am a professional also. I know what to ask, what not to ask when it comes to these sensitive topics. But, nobody wanted to have the conversations. What I am going to do, though, I'm going to talk to some parents, maybe next week or the following week. I'm going to talk to some parents, since the administrative and professional staff don't want to have these conversations. I will talk to some parents to see how they feel about all of this stuff that's happening. We just came out of Texas, that unfortunate shooting that happened. Now in Newark, last month, today's June 1st, there's been two little people bringing guns to school. And I basically wanted to have the conversation in regards to that. And I say this to say that it's important to have these conversations because, as you know, and I posted this young man who was basically saying that he knew what to do when the active shooter came into his school. So are we having those conversations with our children? Are we telling them when an active shooter comes in where you go to hide, play dead, whatever the case may be? I mean, at my job, we have active shooter trainings all the time. And I just wanted to have the conversations around that. But like I said, people said okay, and then all of a sudden everybody's backing out left and right because of whatever they thought I was going to ask them. but it was nothing in regards to that. This is about safety and protection of our kids, of teachers, of principals, and all of these individuals at this point in the game. One Drop said I had to have the conversation with my kids before we went to the mall. It's dangerous everywhere that you go right now. Nowhere is safe. Your kids are not safe at school. You're not safe at church. You're not safe in the supermarket. You're not safe anywhere. So what are we actively doing to try to protect our little people, our kids, or whatever the case may be? And like I said, since the professionals backed out, I'm going to have some parents. I'm going to call some parents who have their kids at North Star Academy. And, you know, those kids have to be at school at 7 a.m. or 6:30 or whatever. You know, dressed completely in uniform. They teach them all about discipline and all of that. A lot of people are saying that these charter schools are prison lines or military lines because they're training these kids to be militant. But are you protecting them when it comes to guns in their schools? What is happening in the schools? Like metal detectors. And yes, some people may feel as though metal detectors can't protect children, but at least it'll go off. At least you'll know that there's a metal object in the school that should not be there. So like I said, I'm not knocking nobody for backing out of the conversations that I wanted to have. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to have the conversation regardless, because guns are now in our kids' schools. Little elementary children in Newark, New Jersey, are taking guns to school. Whether it's an adult who's putting the gun in their book bag and the kids don't know, or whether it's a kid who's picking up the gun from a parent, an uncle, an aunt, whoever, who left it lying around. This is the reality that our children are dealing with. Okay? So, like I said, since the administrators don't want to have the conversation, I'm probably going to call some parents next week and have the conversations with them, because my post today was, what are the parents that have their kids going to North Star Academy doing to get an understanding as to how, when I drop my little person off here at 6:30 or 6 a.m. or whatever time those little babies have to be at school, which is completely ridiculous, but that's another day. Whatever time they have to be there, what is happening for you to protect my child, to make sure that at 4 or 5 o'clock when they get out of school, yeah, those babies are in school all day like it's a job. When they get out of there, how are they safe while they're there? So at 5 o'clock or 4:30 or whatever time they get picked up, that I know that I'm coming to pick up my child and not get a phone call that there's an active shooter or there's a gun or something in the school. Okay? So I wanted to have the conversation around safety, but nobody wants to have it. Okay? Yeah, we had metal detectors at our school. I went to Clifford J. Scott years ago, and there's a metal detector. Like, you could not get into the school unless you walk through it. When I go for work to these schools, Campus High School in East Orange, there's a metal detector there. You walk through it, and it goes off, or whatever the case may be. So the school is aware. You know, we had this whole conversation with the shooting in Texas, where I was saying that if there were alarms or a metal detector or whatever at the doors, maybe, you know, so many lives wouldn't have been lost. But people were like, oh, metal detectors don't save lives. It may not. But at least an alarm is going off and someone is aware. And we are going to give John Crow to the police in Texas, who stood outside for a good 45 minutes and did not enter that school. But for an hour later, meanwhile, an active shooter is in there taking the lives of little people and teachers. Okay? They sat outside and they let this happen. I'm still trying to figure out why. So I said, and I'm going to say it again, people should be fired, people should be locked up, people should be held accountable for that whole incident that happened that more lives could have actually been saved. So you're telling me as police officers, you are trained to stay outside while an active shooter is inside? A whole SWAT team is trained to stay outside while an active shooter is inside? Like, you're not trained to do something? Like, and this is why I didn't do this show last week, because I was so done. I was so heated, because as a mom, I don't want to hear a phone call from my child or a text message that there's an active shooter in his school and nobody's doing anything, right? So it's really a shame, exactly, Wayne. It's a shame that all of these kids lost their lives because people just stood around. People stood around and let this happen. They stood around. There's no ifs and ands and buts about it. They stood around, and now they have to admit that they sat around and let this happen. And I said that none of the family should have to pay for any funeral. That whole state should be, the government should be covering that. They should be covering all of those burials for everybody that passed away in that time. And like I said, the parents need to sue everybody. Not that the kids are going to return. Sue them. Sue the state. Sue everybody in Texas. Just the school. Everything. Just sue everybody, because this is ridiculous. So like I said, none of the administrators wanted to have the conversation. And the craziest thing is that before he even went to the school, he shot his grandma, who thankfully is alive. She's alive. Maybe she can give us some more details into who this young man is. They had an argument before he decided to go shoot up the school. They had a heated discussion. He shot her in the face. She's now recovering. She's okay. So she can literally tell us what type of person he is and why did this happen. His parents were basically saying, they were sure he had his reasons. What reason could you have to walk into a school with elementary children, little people, and decide that you are going to take lives? Just spray the kids and just take lives. I will never understand that. I just can't understand it. And the other thing I want to say too is that a lot of times we are on social media and we don't pay attention to a lot of things. This young man reached out to someone, a stranger, he didn't know her, and he told her exactly what he was going to do, and she did nothing with it. When people reach out to you and say they're going to do something, take it to the police. Okay? People are losing their mental out here. People are, for lack of better terms, crazy. And we have got to start taking initiatives to stop these things from happening. Okay? If somebody sends you something in your inbox, please take it to the police, because a threat may end in someone's life or a few people's lives being taken. So be vigilant. Watch what your friends are doing on social media, because people tend to give hints about different things that they are about to do. So in essence of that, Ziggy Marley basically made a statement, a couple of statements, and he said that the NRA and the gun makers should pay for security in schools. He is a father of 7 children. He said 18 children at one location were slaughtered in the United States of America by one teenage gunman with an American weapon of war he bought in a store. A weapon of effing war. That's what Ziggy Marley said. How does that sound to you? Does that sound right? Last week, before this incident happened, 10 African Americans were shot up in a grocery store by another teenager. This is the society's greatest country on earth, but repeatedly do nothing to figure this ish out. Really? We really can't do better? Where are the politicians on this who claim they want to protect the lives of children, by regulating a woman and her body, but will do nothing to regulate weapons of war to protect children from constantly being killed by these weapons in the United States of America. The hypocrites, they don't really care about children's lives. He said, look at the history of school shootings in America and kids' lives lost. Yet, these power-hungry politicians are quick to proclaim their self-righteousness about the sanctity of life, but do zero to address the particular way of death for our children. The only lives they really care about is theirs and their family. Our lives, our children's lives mean nothing to them. It is evident. That's one thing. How about let's make the gun manufacturers and the NRA pay for all the security systems in America. That way the schools can use their funds to educate the children properly. But also remember that the racist that killed 10 African Americans was shot by an ex-police who was a security, and he still murdered 10 human beings. So it is not foolproof. We need a multifaceted approach. We got to do something. Something has to happen. I don't know what, but something got to happen. People are able, this young man was able to buy these guns. He was able to buy these guns. And Texas have a law that you have to be 21 to purchase a gun. So he went online and he got a gun. Stuff needs to change. They want to tell us, oh, you can't have an abortion. You need to keep a child. But you can't regulate gun laws? Come on, man. Something has to change. Some got to change. Yes, One Job said it's the mental health aspect. A lot of people don't address mental health. And let's face it, in the Caribbean community, that's like taboo. It's like taboo to talk about mental health. You see people walking around and you're like, oh my God, they're good. Not really. Not necessarily. Like, a lot of people are working on their own inner issues, dealing with their own mental health and things that are going on. And then when these individuals shoot up schools and all of these things, the first thing they say is, oh, he has mental health issues. Okay, there's a lot of people with mental health issues who don't go shooting up schools or shooting up churches or shooting up supermarkets or any of these things that are happening. So the issue is so deep that, like Ziggy Marley said, we're not really sure what to do, but something has to be done. The laws definitely needs to change. And also, the craziest thing about this is that I always say, I don't do a lot of politician interviews because I don't know how to be fake with politicians, because we have to start asking them the real questions. Like, I vote for you. Are you going to the Senate? Are you talking to your Senate buddy? Because everybody's friends, about these laws that keep taking the lives of children, about these gun laws, about abortion laws, and all of these things. We don't ask those questions. We pity patter around a lot of things and make them look so great in the media. But behind closed doors, these are the individuals who have power to change laws, and we don't use it to our advantage. If I get a chance to talk to a politician, it's definitely, and I know a lot, but I have to come out of myself in order to ask those the questions that I want to ask them, because am I going to get a truthful answer is always my thing, right? So like Rain said, they force you to give birth, but do nothing to protect the innocent, the kids, once they are born. So again, guns don't kill people. People kill people. But there has to be somebody held accountable for the way that individuals can purchase guns. There just has to be. Okay? Moving on. Jamaica is now, according to the US, is now at high risk for COVID. So the United States has added Jamaica to the list of high-risk countries for COVID-19. Yes, people, COVID is still around. It is still here. It's still here. In an announcement, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control warned Americans to avoid traveling to Jamaica if they are not up to date with their COVID-19 vaccines. Jamaica is now on the CDC's level 3, up from level 2, to which the country was downgraded in December. I don't know. I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. I am not going to say anything about that. But it looks like Jamaica may be going back in a lockdown again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But Jamaica is not the only place that people are outside and living their best lives. We do it here. We're here doing it. We're everywhere. We're traveling everywhere. They've now taken off. You don't have to wear your mask in the airport or in the planes anymore. People are traveling everywhere. So why Jamaica? Why did you go there? Why you go there? I mean, they're saying that the numbers are up and the hospitals are having a harder time dealing with it. So did we go to other places? Did we go to Guyana, Trinidad, everywhere else? Did we check the U.S.? Like, are we doing the whole research or no? I'm just asking. Now, there's a shortage of baby formula in the United States. And this conversation, again, men are having the conversations about women. Hi, DJ Fresh. Men are having a conversation about women breastfeeding. Okay. Here we go again. Why are we having conversations as men about women breastfeeding? Why is that a thing? You have no idea the amount of struggles that a woman may be having to breastfeed. You have no idea, right? And some of you will never even take the time and do the research, but why is that a thing? And I hate to see those conversations on social media because it pisses me off. Just because as a man, y'all gotta stop making decisions about women. Y'all just really have to. And a personal story today, DJ Smalls called me today, we were talking. And basically, he was saying that, he has this newborn baby, and he gave me permission to have this conversation. He has this newborn little guy, Marley. And Marley, he said Marley was in the hospital for 14 days. Little complication that he had. And he said to his wife, Tanisha, what about breastfeeding? Like, do you want to try breastfeeding? Do you want to pump and try and see if that helps him get out the hospital faster? They tried it, and that worked. So I asked him today, I said, being that you've just experienced that, how do you feel when you see your own counterparts on social media having these conversations? And he said, it drains him. He's like, I've tried to comment a few times, but he said he had to erase his comments because not until you're in somebody's shoes that you get to understand what it takes to do those things. He said some days his wife will produce 3 bottles of milk. Some days she gets 1. And, the breast milk basically helped the baby to get out the hospital faster. But they were lucky. And he said he's very grateful for that. He said his family has been sending him formula from Canada, to help also to feed little Marley when his wife is not able to get all of the sustenance that he's going to need. So people are really struggling with this whole formula situation that's happening right now. So it's a matter of sometimes as men, I think, you guys go a little bit overboard with your comments and your posts and all of these kinds of things. And it annoys me. It really annoys me because sometimes a woman could give birth and got sick. a C-section, she can't really hold the baby. Sometimes the babies won't take the breast milk. So what is she supposed to do then if there's no formula? And I was talking to my mom today also, and she was like, I think people need to start going back to the older days where you would do like porridge. A lot of us grew up on porridge when we were babies. But of course, here in the United States, they said that's too heavy for babies. So, going back to the older days could be a solution. But while you're not able to do that, what about the aspect of the women who can't produce milk even though they've had a baby? And now there's a milk shortage. So what are these little people supposed to eat? What are they supposed to eat? I'm not sure. But when we do decide to have these conversations about women health, it amazes me how men like to have these conversations but don't know anything about it. But they like to have it just because they can have an opinion about it. No man should be telling a woman about her body, about her decisions when it comes to her body. None of that. But this is what this country is focused on and surrounded by, where we have men telling us we can't have abortions. Even if there's incest or rape, like, you still need to get approval to do that. Milk, you need to just breastfeed your baby. What if she can't? What if she cannot? So let's start being more empathetic with these types of conversations instead of just posting things because you have something you want to say when it comes to that. Women, don't tell men, oh, go get a vasectomy. Men can have children till they're old and gray. A woman's body gets cut off. You know what I mean? And then there's the aspect of things that come with that. So again, you will never know what it's like to be a woman if you're not a woman. You will never know what it's like to be a man if you're not a man. We can pretend all we want to, but we'll never be able to feel what it's like to be either one of those counterparts. So I get annoyed when I see certain things posted on social media. Even when you try to educate people, they come with the ignorance. They come with the nonsense. And I just be like, you know what? Be great. Just go ahead and be great. Do you have a good time? I'm done with the conversation. Okay? Now, last week, I think it was, Star and Lincoln, there was an interview that Star did, and Star basically said that the reason that she and Lincoln 3.3, whatever his name is, broke up was because they found out that they're cousins, right? And I'm like, what? So everybody's sharing, everybody's posting and all of these things, and I'm like, are y'all for real? Like, are we that gullible though? Are we that gullible that people put something on social media and you believe it to be the truth? And I basically, made a post, and I'm like, if you guys believe that Lincoln and Star are cousins, then Eve never gave Adam that apple. It didn't happen, right? The post them got all over the place. A couple of days ago, Sparky from Jamaica posted a video with Lincoln 3 talking about, oh, he can't believe how this video is all over. There are more crazier things to talk about than me being cousins with Star. So he don't understand how the video blew up the way that it blew up. And then he said, basically, I don't have an issue with the cuz jokes. He said he's reposted a lot of them and he thinks that they're funny. But it was a joke. It was a joke that I guess the two of them came up with to put on social media. And now it's gone to levels. And like I said, maybe somebody got a song, maybe somebody got a product, or whatever that they have coming out, and they wanted the publicity for it. So now they got the publicity, and now people are complaining. I don't get people. I just don't get people. living your truth, and that's just it. Stop putting things on social media that are not true, and then when it blows up and it goes viral, then you want to explain. Now you look stupid because people are looking at you like you're crazy. And we have to stop being so gullible on social media. Not because somebody posts something on social media means that that's the life that they're living. People don't tend to post the things that they're going through on social media. They post all the good stuff. All the good stuff you see. You may never see a struggle on social media. You may never. We have got to stop being so gullible with things that people post and the things that we put out there and share. If I share something, I've done my research before I share it. Because Facebook, one time I shared something and Facebook locked my page for a few days. I couldn't go live. I couldn't do anything for days because they said it was false information. And they told me that in my inbox, it's false information, and they shut my account down. So when people post things, do your research, think about it, take a moment and say, this sounds a little fishy. I'm not going to do this. So, yeah, instead of just running with it, okay? Get with the fix, Michelle G. My guest Lips was supposed to be here. I know there's a storm going on outside, and she was stuck in a whole lot of water in Jersey City. Hopefully she got out of it, but she is having her birthday party tomorrow. Let me see. I'm going to call her and see if she answers the phone. Let me try and see if I get her. Let's see. Let's see if she answers. Ring, ring, ring. And tomorrow is her birthday. Also, she is not answering. So I'm not sure what happened. I hope that she's okay. Now, also, this past weekend, Skeng was in Guyana. First of all, he was supposed to go to Trinidad. But then there was a whole issue at the airport with some type of bleaching cream situation that happened with him. I guess there's no travel size skin cream, bleaching cream. I don't know. I like my blackness, so I'm not doing any of those. But Skeng was actually in Guyana this week doing his show, and I watched the show. It was good. It was all right. He did his thing. Shanae Mayor was there also, and basically in the crowd, someone decided to shoot in the air. So someone got a gun in the place and decided to shoot up in the air, and people just started scattering. They said that the show had to end early as a result of that happening. So folks were blaming Skeng for that happening because, as you know, the lyrics that they sing are about guns and that type of stuff. So, but I'm not really sure how to blame him for that. That's a security issue. For me, that's a security issue. Because if you know you have an artist such as Skeng going there, and if you say that his music is about gunmen, then you know you have to beef up your security to check everybody, man, woman, child, whoever was in there. Check everybody to make sure that they don't have any weapons on there. But again, they were blaming him. They're also saying that his music is also putting an influence in Jamaica with this whole Molly, the use of the drug Molly, that is now becoming an issue in Jamaica, and it's becoming a cause for concern in the island. Everybody knows that Molly is something that's here in the United States, and now it is traveling to the islands, and they're saying that the younger artists are influencing individuals to do drugs, to carry guns, to do drugs, and all of those things. So they're saying that a lot of party goers need to be aware of men offering them drinks. Young ladies need to be very aware of men offering them drinks, because they're putting the mollies in drinks and giving it to the women. And you have no idea, because I don't know what a molly pill looks like, but I'm going to assume it's white and it probably dissolves. But it's something that they're using to rape girls as well. So the country is now trying to figure out what to do in regards to that. But that's the latest concern that Jamaica is having, is this whole Molly situation. The younger artists are singing more violent songs and encouraging the violence, but I think they be forgetting that these violent songs have been around for like forever. These violent songs have been around. So I wanted to play, if you haven't heard Protocol, you must be living under a rock, but
They never chat, they never run them black. Run them black first class. How tired of those going money, even though they don't shot. We run them black. They man, we don't know the long chat. No one ever look how we flip them butts. Me and toy, my toy, everything we shot. Them now run them black. When we pull up, we have to run left back. Nine body, now they kick come back. We got keys, so we fly them back. Protocol, we have 100 chop. Money get pop, boy, place get pop. Hands out, everything more than the clock. All the pine that I let up in a boy back. A shot man with the time, taking a shots. Let's match money out. Can that shit you run it with money down. If I get a gun on, you rock it, come back. Yeah, boost like all in drop. Get on and you rock it with the best of our shot. Them people with the red and I love all the bar. They know bad like we sweet. Yes, I've been the on the Glock 90.
So that's Protocol by Skeng and Tommy Lee, right? And One Drop said, let's see what happens when he comes to Brooklyn. When is he coming to Brooklyn? One Drop. I don't know. I like going to concerts, but I don't know if that's something that I want to go to, because it's a little, yeah. So they're saying that some of the artists, such as Popcorn and Bounty Killer, have decried the use of Molly in the recent past. But the drug again came to scrutiny on this past Sunday after dancehall artist Lincoln 3 Dot pointed out its abundance at events that he attended in Jamaica and contended that the issue was not making the news as he had expected. So I guess when you go to these parties in Jamaica, you're seeing these drugs. Even Cecile supported that. She said that it's just taken over. She said that Lincoln was speaking facts. The damn drug Molly problem is an issue, and everyone laughing and reposting some craziness nowadays is going to become a pandemic. So a lot of the artists are starting to speak out about this whole ecstasy. As you know, Molly is ecstasy. There's actually rave parties that people actually pop these things, drink alcohol, and have a good time. That's been happening in the U.S. for centuries, for ages. So now it's going to the islands and it's becoming a big, huge problem. So that is something that they're going to have to work on. I'm not sure how they're going to work on that, but somebody's actually manufacturing it right there in Jamaica. So how are they going to combat all that? I'm not really sure what their plans are, but it's a major issue, and they're now using it to rape young women. So, ladies, I always, when I'm not a drinker when I'm outside, so I don't take anything from anybody, anyways, unless I know you. So be careful of when you go to Jamaica. A lot of us love to travel and go to different places, and we go into clubs and somebody might like us or whatever the case may be, and next thing you know, you wake up next morning or not at a stranger's house, and you have no idea how you got there. So be mindful of what you're doing when you go on vacation to different places, because don't take drinks from people at all. When you don't know these men, do not take drinks from people. Just don't do it. It's not safe. It never has been safe, and it never will be safe. So be careful, okay? Chanel Mayor basically slams body shamers on Instagram by saying that this world is sick. She says she's tired of dealing with body shaming trolls on Instagram. She insists her photos are there to stay, so critics who are unhappy with the way she looks should simply unfollow her on the platform. If y'all don't like the way I look, just unfollow me. Simple. She said on May 28th. She added that she's not afraid to respond to her critics as needed. Don't think you're going to speak freely cause me afraid for send uno up. Uno, you know. You're warned that body shaming was unacceptable and that natural is okay. She says, so y'all think body shaming is cute? This world is sick. The internet is poisonous to the point where everyone is oblivious to the fact that natural is okay. Ladies, stay strong, stay humble. No, don't make nobody tell you you are not beautiful. Please consider that there are kids born every day, and we are not going to create this norm or narrative that doesn't appeal to their actual well-being. Singer-producer DeMarco commended Chanel for her natural beauty rather than looking like these plastic-shaped female nowadays. Enough of these girls have the same plastic shape nowadays. You look good, mama. Natural beauty is what he told Chanel. Spice joined the conversation to inquire, but then who could I see your nice body and say something about it? Chanel answered to Spice, somebody with not neither for you nor me, my category. Others like Cecile also responded by saying that she think that Black is Beautiful, the Black is Beautiful singer, for standing up for the body shamers. Besides Chanel's Instagram post, the singer has been very outspoken about similar issues, and she even did that in her song where she's talking about self-love and encouraging people, especially children, to be proud of their bodies, race, and backgrounds. It's really a shame that body shaming is still a thing. And, I have these conversations, and it's always, to me, it's always like the women who do their body are usually the ones who are shaming other women who may not want to do their body or can't afford to do their body or just want to be natural. So it's disgusting because you were able to do your body that you put down somebody else who don't want to do it. Those surgeries are very dangerous. Women have died on the table with those surgeries. Women have recovered badly from the surgeries. So let people do what they need to do for their own bodies. But the whole body shaming thing, I hate it. I hate it. And if I see it, I speak up about it. Because I don't care who you are. I'm going to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. And that shouldn't be happening. Like, stop body shaming women just because you think you can. Oh, Skeng is going to be here on June 17th at Urban Plaza in New York for Skelly Bang. Skeng is going to be here or Skelly Bang? Because I know Skelly Bang is going to be here. They're performing together. He's one of the acts. One drop. Because I definitely know Skelly will be here also. And by the way, his music plays all the time on Power 105. I heard the new song with, oh gosh, what's the young man's name? But it's a song where If Your Man Is Cheating, Come Make We on Him. That was playing today on Power 105. There's a DJ on Power 105 who played a lot of the reggae songs on there. He not only played the old songs, but he goes and he plays the new songs as well on there. I'm gonna get his name and post it so a lot of the artists and stuff can, I don't know if you have to send him your music or how that works for him to play your songs on there. Okay. Get with the fix, Michelle G. Tomorrow, Lips is having her birthday party. Like I said, she got stuck today. She was supposed to be here. I have a birthday cake sitting here for her, and I'm going to tell her about herself because I did get a birthday cake for her. Shout out to my mom who has 28 years at her job. So shout out to her. She can retire now, but she needs to give me one phone call per day. And get off the phone when I say okay one time. You know, West Indian parents, you gotta tell them okay 10 times for them to get off the phone. So shout out to her. I don't know when she's retiring, because I think if she retires right now, she won't know what to do with herself, because my mom is always on the move and on the go. COVID has restricted her traveling sessions. You know, she would jump on a plane when she feel like it and disappear. So now I guess she's gonna work that out. I don't know. I'm not sure. But get with the fix. This Saturday, I'm actually back on Instagram, speaking to Sugar. I have Sugar's interview this Saturday at Michelleg G39 on Instagram. The next time that I'm here is June 8th. And then Gold Digger will be live in the building. We're going to get into conversations with her. There's a lot of things to talk about. Gold Digger hasn't been here in a minute, but we're going to talk to her next week. I hope that she's open to having the conversation, that, you know, questions that people want to know and are ready to ask her. So she'll be here next week. But this Saturday, I will be back on Instagram interviewing Sugar. So that's something that I am looking forward to. I do apologize for the blackout I had earlier. The weather was a little bad, but we got back on, and I'm here next week as well. God willing. Be good, be great, love yourself, love on people that are loving on you. Get rid of the people that are not loving you, and it's just that simple. Good night, people. 5 minutes to get out the building, so I'm going to play some soca, because that's what I feel like. I feel like playing soca. Good night. Karaoke tomorrow at Club Eclipse also, starting at 9 p.m. Right, one drop? 9 p.m. at Club Eclipse every Thursday, and it's getting warmer outside, so I'm sure it's going to be more people up in the building. Oh, this Sunday also, DJ Naeem is having his second Caribbean event. Zyanigh will be live in the building. For more information and tickets, reach out to DJ NAIM on Instagram. Shout out to all the radio station, Coffee Radio, Metric Radio, GetWithTheFix.net, GetWithTheFix.com, Mighty Mix, Majestic.
No, that's all. No, that's all. No, nothing can get to me. Fret for no, bend for no, set for no, nothing can get to me. Problems,
I don't want no
problems, and you see that I face, I let
let the Almighty solve them. Life too sweet, I can't complain. The only constant is the change, and we go touch the road again. So as long as you call my name, then I will answer. I'm a happy camper, and love is this sponsor. Oh, and as long as I'm on life, then I will dance up. No time for no anger, I'm smiling with my hands up. Hey, what they calling me? Mr. Happy Happy, Mr. Happy Happy, Mr. Happy Happy.
In 2022, what we doing? What we doing? What are we doing?
I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Who me? I don't watch people man. I'm looking for house and land. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen. I am my own king. Have some of them that stop the most. Like they know it all. Ask them how they get their Gucci clothes. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business.
Like I said, next week, Gold Digger will be live in the building.
Me and them can't be friends. I find the battle and Jah give me help and strength. No, it's we. That can't be English, that have to be French. Some of them that stop the most, like they know it all. But if they come with a slip and a fall, it's them so I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Next week, here on Get With The Fix, this artist will be live in the building. Gold Digger.
Hey, girl, go look alive, yeah.
A girl a chat nothing I want for ya. The man take away the house and the car. See me a party but I wish you a work. Girl a girl me will lick off the face like a scar. A girl a chat nothing I want for ya. The man take away the house and the car. See me a party but I wish you a work. Girl a girl me
Next week, Gold Digger will be live in the building.
me walk up, girl nerves at up. Bout you a wife, liquor girl better you lift up. Self-praise and a recommendation. But you up good and I know you not wanna fun. Walk out, me and my friend, them a laugh out. Hot topic and me the man, them a talk about. Me think sex in a like me well sort out. Some girl laugh.
Join me back on Instagram this Saturday where I will be interviewing Miss Sugar.
The man take away the house and the car. See me a party but I wish you a work.
Live sad.
Me will lick off the face like a scar. A girl a chat nothing I want for ya. The man take away the
I will see you guys here next week, June 8th. Good night.
face like a scar.